into medicine. And with Mercury retrograding in Sagittarius and then later ingressing into Scorpio, this is the best time to focus on what to heal and where to receive support so you can attain your personal goals by reflecting on your daily routines. If you don't know me, I'm your astrologer, Jaymie from J-me Scorpio AF, coming to you during Scorpio season. This is such an alchemizing time, and I see poison as really looking at what heal and medicine as what you can receive, the benefits that arrive from doing the healing by processing your trauma during the season that we during the zodiac sign that rules trauma healing. I have my signature way of looking at processing traumas as trauma triggers, trauma loops, and trauma healings that you can look into more deep in detail by subscribing to my YouTube channel. But in the northern hemisphere, right now it's starting to get colder, and we're in the zodiac sign that rules being secretive and private. It's a water sign, and so it's a time to reflect on your feelings, your desires, and to observe what's uncomfortable for you, what's holding you back from achieving your desires. And consider what traumas are keeping you from connecting to these desires. Because oftentimes we try to get clear on what it is that we want, and sometimes we don't know because our traumas are actually getting in the way of allowing ourselves to really see what it is that we truly desire, or we stay small and the things that we desire are sort of filtered out and distorted from our unprocessed traumas based on what we think we can have and what we believe we deserve versus what we actually truly want. And this is where reflecting on your traumas and what makes you uncomfortable can be kind of a good way to navigate and figure out what's going on. Wherever the sun is in, this is the time that things are going to be spotlighted according to the sign that it's in. So right now it's in Scorpio season. So consider what's been spotlit lately for you in your life. What is showing up? Where is the focus been? And are they things that are sort of crunchy and uncomfortable? Are they things that are telling you, oh, this is something that I need to work on? Or is it getting you clearer to what your desires are? Either way works. They're both in the energy of Scorpio, but it's a good way to kind of navigate and identify where you are. And so because Scorpio is initially a little bit more uncomfortable, I would reflect first. I would encourage you to reflect on what's uncomfortable, what's holding you back, and sort of go and reverse engineer it from there. And then consider what your desires are, as well as, because the sun is about self-expression and the things that give you confidence, what are you confident about? What are some things that you want to build your confidence around? What are some ways that you can express yourself that's going to assist you in these things? There are a lot of things that Scorpio rules: trauma processing, your desires, things of this nature. It's also about emotional resilience. Some people thrive in achieving your goals by focusing on what feels good, what makes you feel confident. And some people do better looking at, okay, this is something that I'm not good at, this is something that I struggle at, what can I do to improve it? So pick the thing that's going to make it easier for you to move forward and start there, whether it's reflecting on what it is that you desire or the things that are holding you back. And you can use things like psychology, trauma healing, astrology, tarot cards in order to kind of get a sense of what to focus on. If you're sort of uncertain, you can definitely look within yourself. And that's what I first encourage you to do before looking at astrology or external resources. This is the time to really check in with yourself. This is going to be the best way to use this energy. Now, with that said, if you'd like more specific strategic astrological guidance, I do encourage you to look at what house your Scorpio is in. This is going to tell you the area of your life that it's going to show up in. And this is going to tell you some things that you can work, whether it's focused on your desires, what's going to help you feel confidence, the best way for you to process your trauma, things of that nature. Hi! And so if you'd like more guidance on this, you can check out my video that I did with Lotta. It was really popular, and I talked about the best way for each zodiac sign to process your traumas. So you can use that as a guidance, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. to give you some insight during Scorpio season. And today is when, so we're in our Mercury pre-shadow period, and Mercury ingressed into Sagittarius today on the 29th. So this is going to be tomorrow for some of you guys. But this is also the time to be reflecting on Sagittarian things, such as your personal goals. And so this is the time to kind of think about, what are your personal goals? What are the things that you desire? And what are some things such as unprocessed traumas and things that are holding you back, areas where you need to develop emotional resilience around, that's going to help you to achieve your personal goals. Also think about your daily routine. What works? What needs to be tweaked in order to help you to achieve your personal goals? Try to see things from a higher perspective. This is the energy of Sagittarius. Get yourself into an optimistic mood. Think about, if you were in a growth mindset, if you were to strip away the things that you feel are holding you back, what are some ways that you would actually use this energy? How would you move forward? How would you move about in the world? It's important to have this balance, of course, where you are working with being honest about where you are and making goals meeting you where you are, because it's better to work with yourself rather than against yourself, but also understand where you want to go so that you move in the direction that's actually going to get you there, versus over identifying with where you're at now. But you want to sort of find this balance by really connecting with your scorpionic energy of what is it that you desire, what's holding you back, things of this nature. It's important to remember that Scorpio is an independent sign, and one of the things is that because Scorpio also rules magnetizing resources, I find that the more healed you are, the easier it is for you to receive support from others and get support from others and be able to leverage other people's resources. Because hyper independence is a trauma response, and a lot of times people struggle to take advantage of the beneficial energy of Scorpio, which is about magnetizing resources from others, because you don't feel worthy enough, you don't feel good enough, you feel like you have to do everything yourself. This is a trauma response. And so this is the time to think about, what are some of those things that are holding you back, and tie it with your personal goals, and recognize, like, okay, it's time to let go of certain practices, certain beliefs, so that you can allow yourself to receive support. Because when it comes to achieving your personal goals, you want to be successful at it, and success requires you to connect with others, to have a community. And so this is the time to really look at yourself and observe, what are the ways that you're holding yourself back in that area of your life? What can you do to move forward? And this is the best way to use this energy now during Scorpio season and Mercury and Sagittarius. And then when Mercury retrogrades back into Scorpio, this is the time where you want to think about, like, right now, what can you do to process your traumas so that you can learn to receive, tying it with your personal goals, so that when Mercury is retrograding back into Scorpio season, you can reflect on, okay, now that I've done this, where can I receive support from others? How can I leverage the resources of others in a way that's mutually beneficial for everyone? We all have things that we're enthusiastic about, things that we love to share, and so there are things that we don't like to do that other people love to do. It's important to remember that we live in a world with billions and billions of people in the world. The shit that we think is just like excruciating, terrible, we don't want to deal with this, it's horrible. There are other people who love it and who live for that stuff. And so this is the time to really remember, like, and connect with the reality that we don't have to do things ourselves, that we shouldn't do things ourselves. And if you're one of those people who believe, I have to do it myself because in the past it's never worked, this is the time to use the reversal energy of Scorpio to change that. Because honestly, that shit is bullshit. And if you look at the most successful businesses, the most happy, fulfilled people, they have a community, they have a support. They aren't just doing everything themselves, which isn't sustainable. That mindset is the reason why we live in a society that's struggling with burnout now. This is the time to be strategic with our energy, to find ways to support ourselves along with other people and bring others along with us. This is one of the best ways to use this energy, and then also prepare us as we move into the next zodiac season. Sometimes Not everyone really enjoys Scorpio season because it's a little bit heavier and people are like, I can't wait until we go into Sagittarius season or something like that. But with every zodiac sign placement, in order to benefit from the next placement, we have to really use the energy where it is now in order to extract the benefits when we get into the next sign. And so this is one of the best ways to work with this energy. If you'd like support on this, I do have a signature consultation, J-me Scorpio AF, where I focus specifically on this. I blend my background as a medical researcher. I have a lot of clients that are psychologists, and so I incorporate a lot of things that are personalized to you. I blend a medical astrology, the research that I've done on how to regulate your nervous system that a lot of psychologists have found really helpful. These are things that are unfortunately not thoroughly covered in med school either. And this is where there's a lot of disconnect when it comes to processing our traumas, because outside of therapy and psychology, which is like the common way to process our traumas, the reality of the matter is that our trauma, they're also spiritual in nature. They are related to karmic matters, things that we've inherited from our family, our previous generations, previous incarnations. It's related to our physical body. We're spiritual beings here to have a human experience. And Scorpio being the sign that rules psychology, trauma healing, also being a water sign, and astrology and ruling astrology, there are just things in trauma healing, in psychology through therapy that's not covered, that's connected to the body, that's related to spirituality, that's outside the confines of psychotherapy. And so astrology has a beautiful way of helping you to process your traumas and also identifying the best way for you to process your traumas. Everyone has a receptivity with some things more than others, and so it saves you a lot of time, effort, and energy to get direct insights on what's going to work the best for you, and I'm happy to do that. But also really take advantage of the energy of Scorpio season and what's going on right now. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.